Tonight is August the 21st, 2015. This is an amplifier I've been working on for a while. If you watch my videos, you know recently I've been charmed by these direct heated triodes. These are a pair of VT-25As. I think I showed the beginning of this with various tubes. I did decide to go with those. They're a 7.5 volt filament. I got my 7.5 volt center tap from a 12.6 volt, and I put dropping resistors in the primary lead, so I get 7.5 volts. So they're right on, using a 5V4 and the 6S, where's my finger here? 6SL7, 6SN7. This is the same driver circuit that I used in the 6B4 amplifier. There's not a lot of information out there on these VT-25As. They're actually beautiful. I have a third one that I've tested in here too, and it performs the same. I'm just got the lights off just so we can see it. I can see the blue in the camera actually better than I can without it. Turn on some lights here, show you underneath it. Probably overwhelmed the camera for just a second. I've got it on, warming up. I'm not overly charmed with this thing. It's nothing, you know, to see. There's that 12.6 volt transformer that and some dropping resistors. Oh, there's those gold Dale resistors in series. There's its that pot right there is feedback, so I can tinker with that. Choke input filter, all of the capacitors, a big guy over there, etc. Then there's the voltage amplifier feeding the grids. That's pretty much it. Let's set it back down here. I used chassis over and over sometimes. That's why we have all these extra holes. Well, it does work. It's a pretty good 6-watt amplifier. It does not work as well as the 6B4, and there's nothing I can do to make it work that well. I've got the best 6SL, 6SN7s in it. Here it is running at 30 Hertz. There's its output, and there's its power, 6.7 watts at 1.2. It's bouncing around. These amplifiers, when they become a little unstable, it's actually hard to see it here by looking at an oscilloscope. Matter of fact, I really can't quite see it. Stare at it long enough, sometimes you can see a little glitch run through there. But anyway, the distortion analyzer sees it. Let me get some of the glare off here there. And if I put this one in distortion, it sees the same thing. So that's what it does at 30 Hertz. It doesn't do very well at 20 at all. So there's no use in even testing it down there. So here we're going in increments of 3. There's 300 Hertz. It's right at 1%, 7.8 watts. 3 kilohertz, 7.9 watts, right under 1%. So you can see it's a good 7 to 8 watt amplifier. Now the next step would be 30 kilohertz, and it can't do 30 kilohertz. It only does 15 kilohertz respectfully. We go to 15 kilohertz. Let's see, let's stretch it out there. So you can see it's already misshapen a little bit. Still 8 watts, but at 3.8%. Doesn't do 20 kilohertz very well, and it doesn't do 20 hertz very well. If I go to 20 kilohertz, let's see, we'll do it just for the heck of it. 6.9 watts. Power didn't drop too much, it went up to 8.8%. There's our almost 20. There's our 20,000. 9% at 6.8 watts. And then if we go down to 20 hertz, it does very poorly down there. And there's what that looks like. Still does 6 watts at bouncing around 9 to 10%. So, you know, it's pretty good. It's acceptable, I guess you'd say, in the 15 kilohertz, the 30 hertz to 15 kilohertz range. You know, I was thinking about these old tubes, and back when I was a kid, say 1965, I would have been 16, and I saw these things. These things probably made around 1945. I would have said, wow, man, these tubes are like 20 years old. Now I look at these things and say, wow, these tubes are like 70 years old. And they still work. And you know what? This third one right here works just as well as these two do. They work great. They do what they do. And the consistency between them is extremely good. They made good stuff back then. They've come a long way since then, and I can see why people don't use these as a popular amplifier, because you only get, you know, 7 or 8 watts out of it that's respectable. I have not listened to it yet. I'm probably going to do that here as when I quit. I'm not going to play any music over the internet. The only thing that I can record that sounds decent is vocal or chamber music or something like that. I think that's about the only thing we ever hear. You know, I can't do any AC/DC or Metallica over this thing, which I'd like to, but there it is. There's a push-pull VT-25A. There is a VT-25, and it's got a plate size about half this, and then the A, from what I understand, was made for the military and a bit more plate dissipation. I run about 40 milliamps per tube. I played a lot with the feedback, both the resistive portion of it and the capacitive portion of it, and I play quite a bit with the cathode resistor. Right now I have a 850 ohm resistor, the same as the 6B4. I can lower it to as much as 350 ohms. I might get a slight improvement. Then I get up to about 110 milliamps total, 60 milliamps per tube, running them a little too hot. But I'm going to play with this one for a while, and then I'm probably going to swap these VT-25s out for something different. Use the same chassis. This voltage amplifier section that's out of the Acrosound tube manual is actually pretty nice. This is the transformer. Everything seems to be in order. I don't seem to have any issues with those things. But there it is, the mighty VT-25A directly heated cathode triode amplifier. Had to build it just to make those guys work again. So I hope you enjoy it.